Well, hello, welcome back to the channel. Bit of a different one today. As you've probably seen by the thumbnail, I've got a little bit of sort of first impressions gear review to do today on the Elite Suito direct drive trainer, which I've recently got just yesterday. So yeah, if you're looking for info on that, hopefully I can answer your questions here. Just to point out, first and foremost, I bought this for my own money. It's up here, so I'm not sponsored or anything like that. I paid my own money for this. I'm totally impartial, so if obviously when we get to the riding section, if there's something wrong with it, I'll tell you straight away. Obviously I've got no skin in the game here, so yeah. But first impressions I bought it from Sigma Sports. To be fair to them, good shout out. I mean, they were actually the only place that had it in stock that was ready to ship, but it arrived within a day and a half. I just paid for the next day delivery and it came, I think I ordered it about 2 o'clock on the Monday, and by 4 o'clock Tuesday it was here. And basically, yeah, the reason behind ordering this particular one is twofold actually. First and foremost, I am a complete beginner at most of this stuff, and I like the idea that it came allegedly ready to use straight out the box. Things like it already came with a cassette, it was already mounted, and I'd already been using my friend's Elite Novo smart trainer, which is a wheel-on trainer. So I knew really I assumed anyway, and we'll find out soon, the software and things that's on this that links to your computer through Bluetooth and ANT Plus is going to be the same as that. And I know the ANT Plus and the Bluetooth sensors that I have already work to link to Zwift. So kind of put one and one together. I'm assuming it's going to work just fine because the previous one did. Obviously the reason I went for the direct drive is obviously just because the vast majority of people will tell you the quality is better, and I was quite keen on trying one. I briefly got a go of a Tax Flux when I was getting a bike fit, and I really liked how it felt. But price point wise, this one set me back, I think, 649 quid. I think the equivalent Tax Flux is something closer to about £1,000. So I figured, and there's a lot of reviews around of the big ones. I think I've seen a couple of reviews of this one, but from a complete beginner's point of view, I thought, well, why not sort of log my experiences with it. So yeah, so in the box, obviously we've got the trainer. I got there was 3 different power adapters. Obviously the UK one's the only one I'm interested in. I'm not quite sure what the other 2 are. They don't actually look like the standard Continental one, and they look a lot narrower. But yeah, but the UK adapter's in there, and it simply just clicks into the power pack, plugs straight in your wall. If you've got any other Elite trainer, it's identical to the one for the Novo that my friend lent me. So I'd imagine if you've had any sort of Elite trainer previously, you know the type of thing that I'm talking about. Packaging wise, it was rock solid. It came double boxed. There was no movement inside. Everything's packed really solid, and the unit itself is pretty rock solid. It's got a decent heft behind it, and I don't think it's particularly likely to be damaged in shipping. So I think it would have to be handled pretty badly, and to be honest, the box rode up from DPD without a scratch on it. So yeah, I mean, it's been pretty well looked after on its way here, and yeah, no complaints on that front. What came with it extra? Obviously there was the riser block, there was an adapter kit which had a quick release skewer for QR systems. It had the adapters to then change it to a through axle system, which obviously they were no use to me. My bike just transition comp, it's an older quick release bike. It's just the regular quick release skewer. So yeah, basically, so I put the 2 inserts in for the quick release, hook my bike onto it, skewer through, it's in place, had a brief pedal on it to make sure it's okay, and yeah, seems to be running great. The one thing that I didn't come with, which I had to go and pick up from the bike shop this morning, is the cassette comes, it's dry. So obviously it does recommend that you lubricate the cassette before you do any sort of mileage on it. I mean, I suppose if your drivetrain's already well lubed anyway, it's probably not likely to damage it immediately, but yeah, I think it's just good practice, I suppose, to make sure you lubricate it. So I had to go down and pick some bike lube up this morning, and yeah, quick spray and some wax on, and it's running sweet as a nut now. So yeah, really everything was good to go, exactly as advertised, other than it needed lubricating. So if you are ordering it and you're in the position I am, that you just want to take it out the box, set it up, put your bike on it and get away, get some chain wax and you're good to go. Now, actually putting your bike on there, now this is probably more of a symptom of me not knowing what the bloody hell I'm doing. It's a lot more difficult than I thought. I did need an extra pair of hands for it. I mean, the sort of the stairs where my wheel mounts in, it goes sort of directly into the back. Normally when I've seen people put these on, they just literally just drop them straight down, but it is quite a tight fit. You've got to have like one hand on your derailleur getting your chain around, and then you've got to bring the bike in, and with an extra pair of hands it's dead easy, because obviously, but I mean, after I've done it a few times, it's actually not that difficult. You've kind of just got to get the idea in your head of how to do it. I mean, there's plenty of videos on YouTube showing how to do it. I won't make one because I'm far too short-tempered and it will just be swearing and censored all the time. So but yeah, jump on something like GCN, it'll show you how to set it up. And like he said, I think in the guide I watched, it once you know what you're doing, it's dead easy. But if you don't know what you're doing, you're just not gonna have a clue. So yeah, I mean, it's just something to bear in mind. Just have a quick look. If you've never set one up before, it's a little bit more complicated than the wheel on one. And I suppose lastly then, the other thing it comes with is obviously the front riser block, just to make sure everything's nice and level. And yeah, to be fair, that's pretty much it. It is exactly as it's advertised. It's out the box. It does weigh a good whack. You basically, all it is to lock it up, you sort of spread the legs apart on it, and you just pull them out into position. They lock into position, and once you get the bike on it, and I've sat on it a couple of times, it is rock solid. There's very little wobble there and stuff. So yeah, so let's jump on. We'll do a few miles on Zwift. We'll see how it links up, and I'll see if I can get some information like how loud it is in the room, and yeah, we'll go from there. Right, okay, moment of truth. So we've got Zwift set up on the computer, which I'll have the screen capture for. I'll try and put it, see what I'm doing here, down here. So we'll send away searching. I'll hit the pedals, see if it finds it. Is he going to find it first time? No. So I will try this again after I've done a little bit of troubleshooting, problem solving, combination of the two. Right, so problem number one. This is broken. So this is not powering up the unit. Luckily, the one that my friend lent me for the Novo is working just fine. So I can at least test with that. So we'll get to test Sigma Sports' return policy, because obviously they're going to have to send me another one of these. But in the meantime, I will have a fiddle around with it, and if it's my fault and I put this together wrong, you'll see a pretty humble cut, and I'll be apologising for saying it's broke.
I don't know anything for real about any of this stuff.
Right, managed to get it working. What it does is basically where the adapter fits on, there's two little pins. One of them had bent, and it just wasn't making contact. To be honest, I compared it to the other one from my friends, and you could tell there was a difference. As soon as I tried to move it, so I've probably just been a little bit damaged when it's been getting packed. But the pins are a little bit flimsy, but yeah, so just obviously something to keep an eye out for. But there you go. Sensible information. So right, so the trainer's picking up anyway now. You can see it on the screen here. I've got here Elite Wheel Trainer. So we'll pick that one and we'll go with that, and we'll also, yeah, we'll go for, get everything else linked up here. Oh, coming up, there's no signal, so I'm assuming it's gone to sleep. So yeah, so it's connected up. It's connected up fine by the looks of that. So search for power source at the top. Elite wheel trainer on. Elite Suito 108. That's the one. So we'll take that. And then click the one. Elite Suito controllable. Yeah, everything seems to be firing up now. So it's all coming up as the Elite as Suito 108. And take the same on this one through the Bluetooth. There we go. So there we go. Yeah, once the teething problems with the power supply were sorted, yeah, you plug it in. The red light will come on the side. There's a little blue one on the back with the Bluetooth logo. It just shows you that it's broadcasting. Like I say, I've got Bluetooth and ANT Plus on here. To be honest, the ANT Plus is just for the heart rate strap, but everything else goes through Bluetooth. And yeah, it's just connected just as easy as the original one did. So if you've had an Elite trainer before, chances are you're going to connect in exactly the same way. So since I'm not doing anything fancy, I'll spare you having to watch us all sweaty. I'll take it for a quick ride, just to, I don't know, 5-6 miles around Watopia or something like that, and yeah, just see what it feels like, and first impressions are. Whoa. Right, you can tell by looking a bit more flush now. Quick blast around the Yorkshire course, so a little bit of a first ride out on the Suito. First impressions are really good. It's I downloaded a little cheap free decibel meter on my phone. I'll put the screenshot up on the corner here. First impressions, it's a hell of a lot quieter than the wheel-on trainer. And to be quite honest, the vast majority of the noise was coming from my drivetrain. I think part of that's probably at the moment. I think it's got an 11-speed cassette on there, and really it's set off for a 10-speed on my wheel, so it probably needs a bit of tweaking. But yeah, the trainer itself, it was a hell of a lot quieter than the wheel-on trainer. The two biggest things I noticed straight away is, as you approach hills and you crest hills, the difference in the resistance, it's almost instant at the back. It's so much more true to life. It's a lot quicker to respond when you hit the slopes. It's straight away, you can kind of see as the bike rises, you feel it through the pedals so much faster. The accelerating with the flywheel, with it being a heavier weight, it feels like you're accelerating a mass, like you are actually on the bike, rather than it just spinning up a wheel with the wheel on one. And the other thing what I noticed was, obviously when I came up to sort of like a 15-16% gradient, getting up out the saddle, it's a lot more stable. Now that could easily be to do with how I had the other one set up, but this one is just so, it just feels so much more natural to jump up out the saddle on and really push up the hills. So yeah, first impression, it's really good. I'm very happy with it. So would I recommend it? 100%. Yeah, I think for the price point, like I say, I've tried, I think 2 Tax ones. I've never tried a Wahoo. I'd love to see how it compares to this, but yeah, I've tried 2 of the Tax ones, and to be quite honest, it feels just as good quality, and it's a good bit cheaper. Obviously the Pros R comes straight out of the box ready to use, which is a really massive plus for me with very limited technical knowledge of how to do these sort of things. But yeah, so 100% I'd recommend it to anybody else. Like I say, the only thing is the power adapter, and the UK adapter is a little bit flimsy, but once I knock that pin back into place, it's fine. So hopefully you've got some value out of this. If you're looking at this trainer, it is definitely a step up from like a wheel-on resistance trainer. You'd be perfectly happy with one of them. They are very good, and I would have been quite happy to have got one. It's just because I had the opportunity to get something like this, and I did fancy trying the direct drive. But yeah, I am happy with it. So yeah, hopefully you've liked it. If I do come across anything else in the future that I managed to pick up, if I think it's going to be of use to beginners, I'll drop a review of that too. If you've enjoyed it, if you can help out by dropping a like below or something like that, or maybe even subbing along on the training journey towards the Ironman, all your support's hugely appreciated. So I'll catch you next time.